got my nickname handed to me by Denise Waddles. How'd you get yours, Mr. Hollywood?
Oh, no, I picked it myself.
Ready, bang! And I don't know who is joining Ryan Bowen. This is what happens when you order the Aussie arm wrestler on Wish. You get yourself, because everyone saw Ryan and I absolutely treat East versus West 2 like garlic and crush it. That's what we did. But then we've gone on to our things. No, this guy is very good. He's from South Australia. He's from the South Australian Titans. And he's in his contract to do the double bicep pose everywhere. And he is the very first person to win the Matt Connelly Man of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hollywood, Matt Connelly. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you? How did you enjoy the event?
I love the poll that you put up there, Jake. Who is the real Hollywood? It's very much an homage. I'm very happy to be on with Don, the man himself. You're an absolute legend. Wonderful to talk to you. I didn't pick my name deliberately after you. I didn't find out until afterwards. Someone goes, "Oh no, Don Underwood's already got that name." I was like, "Damn it! Oh, I'm sticking with it anyway." So.
So he's just disrespecting you, Donny boy. He goes, "Oh yeah, at one stage this bloke was the strongest arm wrestler on the planet. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna keep my nickname."
I got mine handed to me. I got my nickname handed to me by Denise Waddles, and I mean, arguably, I was the biggest clown there was, making the most noise, trying to get noticed, and then finally became a good arm wrestler and earned it. But how'd you get yours, Mr. Hollywood?
Oh, no, I picked it myself.
I don't have one, Matt Connelly. Pretend this is yellow. You've been yellow carded. You've been yellow carded. You cannot give yourself Ryan, and if you ordered Hollywood off Wish, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'd love to see Dennis Sablinko come back. That'd be amazing. But I just don't think his body can handle it at this point. I think he's had his day. He will always be one of the legends of the sport. In terms of Levan's next opponent, maybe the guy called him out today, but it's going to be hard. I mean, we were talking
about this. You mentioned retire, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
But explain why.
Well, I just sort of, if you've cleaned out the entire division and there's such a massive gap between you and the next guy, it's sort of like, where do you go from here? And you could almost say, look, why don't you step away from the sport, do some other things, keep training, keep being as strong as you possibly can, keep trying to improve. But in a way, you're retired. So the other people, and you're sort of waiting for a contender to rise through the ranks, somebody who's really going to step up until you get to a point where the question gets asked, well, what would they be like against Levan? What would they be like? If only we can lure Levan back out of retirement and have this match. And that's where he could come back. But yeah, in terms of his future at the moment, I mean, he's crushing everybody 6-0. No one's close to his level. Where do you go from there? It's like some of the best videos. I mean, you look at Alex Toproll's stuff, and his best videos, most popular stuff, is just him and his brother in like New York City, and it's and just arm wrestling. If you beat me, you get $100, and there's millions of views on that. People love seeing that sort of thing. It's like, this guy's an incredibly strong person. He has the abilities, number one in the world. It's like, you don't just have to restrict yourself to just super matches. You have the ability to go out, do challenge things, these things, turn up here. You guys, there's so many different things and options that you have that you don't need to restrict yourself to just looking at, where's my next opponent?
Yeah.
West hosted in the West. Is it possible? And what would it take?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. These big events that they're putting on, the East versus West is working because you've got the patriotism side of it. You've got the people that are in the European side versus the North American. I mean, essentially, that's what you're looking at. That's the reason. This is what we were talking about before. Why do I want to watch this? Like, why do I care? Why should I care about this matchup? Oh, well, this guy's from your part of the world, and this guy's like seen as, I don't know, you can say, oh, he's the enemy. He's on the other side. There's the story. That's like, he's representing us. He's representing you. That's why you should care. And that's the idea of where they're going with that East versus West kind of thing. It's like, it's patriotism that's selling the product. Whereas what we were doing with Devin and Levan, it's like, you could say, okay, this is Devin, this is Levan. They're going for the number one in the world. But it's like, okay, well, that's sort of interesting. But where's the real storyline there? Like, why should I really care? This guy's a real underdog. The champion is unstoppable. He's never been beaten. He's like a man mountain. But the guy who's challenging him, he's got all this strategy and all this technique, and he's been a world warrior. And you're telling this story so that people actually give a shit when you go to put it in front of them and say, oh, well, that's interesting. I want to see it. Why should I care? I want to see that match because of this reason. So when you're looking at East versus West, that's the product they're selling. It's patriotism. He's representing your part of the world. He's representing the other part. That's the enemy. Oh, okay. Well, that's why I want to see. I want to go for my home team. But if you don't have that element, you could have the best guys in the world. No one cares. Like, I don't know who they are. So why do I care about this match? Where you can have people that you've never heard of. But if you tell the story really well,
right,
people in like local club, and just tell the story about this he's furious at him because he cheated on his girlfriend or something, and it's like, you put these two people in front, you've got a story, you've got drama. It's like, oh, I want to see this, regardless of their skill level. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
If someone wants to build their name in the sport, the more that they get on camera, the more that they are pulling tournaments, the more that they're getting their face out there, the faster they will rise through the ranks, the faster they'll be given more opportunities. If you're pulling once a year, it's like, okay, great, you won one match. That's the one match that everyone can go back to look at. Yeah, cool. But if you've got somebody else that's pulling 10 times, like 10 big matches, big events, they're seeking out the biggest challenges they possibly can in tournaments here, there. Their name is going to rise so much faster than that one match per year. That's one of the things that I was going to say before is if you don't know, if you're not comfortable on camera, if you're not comfortable talking to people and being charismatic, you haven't got that personality, but you've got the skill, get somebody else to talk for you. Look at like the WWE. I mean, I was saying this to you last night when Brock Lesnar first came out, couldn't speak on the microphone. That's okay. You've got the look, you've got the ability, the whatever. We'll get Paul Heyman. He's going to come out. He's going to talk for you. He's going to do all the talking. And every time you just stand there and look intimidating, he's going to tell all the story for you. If you are not a confident person to speak on camera, if you feel like, hey, I've got the ability, but I really hate selling myself, I really hate the idea of it, get somebody else to do that for you. That they can tell the story. And it's not that you have to be sitting there going, oh, I'm going to be the best and I'm this and that. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. Somebody else can, they can sit back. We were watching John Wick yesterday, and I was explaining how, in the start where the dad is explaining to his associate who John Wick is and why he's so deadly. And it's like, here it is. He's telling the story for the audience to understand why John Wick is so amazing. It's not John Wick saying, hey, I'm amazing. It's other people doing it for him. I think it's hard to compare it to the TikTok, the motorcycle guy who does those things. They've got their shelf life and they've got their little moments, and it's like, okay, this is cool, but it is sort of that viral element of it. And if you look at something like the UFC, like it's a professional fighting organization that has, they sold their company for $4 billion a couple of years ago. They raised it up for being $30 million in debt. And it's like, they didn't do that based on viral moments. It was a consistent production of high quality entertainment and events that put on amazing moments for years to get to that level. It wasn't based on, let's just get one highlight clip of a knockout. Those things absolutely contributed to the success. And they're the things that you want to cherry pick and say, these are the moments that you want to see. But the overarching storyline is that there's 10 fights on the card and you've got to watch 50 minutes of that fight before that moment happens. But when it happens, it's amazing. And that's what you want to find.
Wrestler, which Hollywood though? We have two here. Matt is my Hollywood. Laugh out loud. Hashtag Uncle John from Lucha Pagliacci. He says, wasn't it great that Levin saved arm wrestling?
I think it will be great. And I think that Levin will save arm wrestling if he actually puts
behind the scenes. Hollywood Matt Connelly. I had to give him his lashings during the stream because he's got to earn his stripes. But he does amazing things, especially on the lower end. He puts out very good content to support his arm wrestling club. He's, as much as he calls himself Hollywood and
I just want to interrupt there, Aussie arm wrestling. I want to tell you where Matt Connelly's value is like better than anyone else's that I've experienced before. And there's no lie. His ability to see detail in production, in bringing entertainment, he has the most ridiculous historic knowledge of pro sports and what made them work. He's analyzed pro sports constantly all his life. I listen to this dude because he says this is what they did. This is what their mistakes were. This is where they didn't make mistakes. Head in this direction. This guy is valuable to the sport.
Yeah, if we can get him to 1,000 subs, that would be really good. If we can support his channel, and he puts in a lot of work. So if we can get him a couple of dollars in the monetization side of things, that would be awesome because he definitely does deserve it. So Hollywood, Matt Connelly, go subscribe and then watch one of his videos and says the Aussie arm wrestler sent you there, guys. Has anyone got any final comments before we wrap up the show?
I just want to say thank you to all of you guys and all the fans for the opportunity. And just, I am an arms wrestling fan at heart. So to be here, to be able to talk to people, to be on stream, meet legends like Don Hollywood Underwood, and, sitting next to Ryan Bowen, I feel very, very lucky, very humble. So thank you to everyone. So
big weekend. So thank you to everyone for the big weekend. Mega weekend. Love it.